Hi guys, I'm Kat, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you a recipe for roast chicken pie that's good for the whole family, including babies. And also I'm going to be sharing with you an introduction to the Itsy Blitz. We've very kindly been sent this to review, and it is a portable blender so that you can blend your baby's food wherever you are, whether you're in the house or whether you're on the go in a restaurant, on holiday, all that sort of stuff. So we'll get started. I'll start with the recipe. So the recipe is really simple, really easy to follow, nice and healthy. But like I say, it's good from baby's age right up to grown-ups. One of the great things about that recipe is it's good to freeze. So actually, I've already made this, hence why I'm not unfortunately showing you how to make it step by step. It is dead easy though. But I've got a portion that I've got out of the freezer to show you how the Itsy Blitz works. So all you need is 2 chicken breasts, 100 grams of onions, or you can use half a teaspoon of dried onions, which is what I've done, onion granules, 100 grams of broccoli, which is about 1/4 of a head, 60 grams of plain flour. I use gluten-free plain flour because Theo is intolerant to wheat, so you can use the alternatives and it turns out just fine. 60 grams of butter, or because again Theo's dairy free, I use Vitalite, which is a dairy free spread, sort of butter substitute, and again it works really well in mashed potatoes and that sort of thing, so it's a really good one to pick up. 250 mils of water or stock. Now obviously if you're making this recipe for babies, stock is very salty. You can get low salt versions, but I don't really like to cook with that because it is still quite salty. So for my pie I only use water and it's turned out fine, but if you wanted to add a bit more stock for a bit more flavour, then you can. 50 grams of frozen peas. You could obviously use fresh peas out of a tin if you wanted, but frozen peas are easy just to throw into different things. They're also really good for baby-led weaning because they defrost really quickly, and they can chase them around to try and develop that pincer grip. Not in this case, but just in general. Then you'll also need 1 tablespoon of oil. I use groundnut oil, but you can use olive oil if you so wish, and 2 large potatoes. I use Albert Bartlett roasted potatoes if anyone's interested, because I think they're the best ones and make really nice mashed potato. I'm a bit of a mashed potato snob because my mum makes amazing mashed potato, so I have to have really good potatoes to make it. So all you need to do is preheat the oven to 200 degrees. I'm not sure what that converts to, but I'll put that in the details below, a conversion for you. I'll put all of this in the details below so you don't have to write this down as you go along. But you know, if you'd rather just hear me waffle on about it, then you're in the right place. So first what you do is you put the chicken and the onions and the oil into a casserole dish. Mix it all around so it's all nice and covered in oil, and then cook in the oven for 20 minutes. While you're doing that, put the peel and chop up the potatoes and then put them in a pan and bring them to the boil. Boil them for about 20 minutes and then you can mash those and then set the mash to one side. Next, melt the butter in a saucepan and add the flour so it turns into a paste. So mix it in so it's nice and smooth, and then gradually add the water or the stock, mix in each time until you've got sort of a smoother sauce base. Once you've got that sauce base, you can stir in the broccoli and the peas and then just cook for another couple of minutes so that it's all warmed through. Now you can take the chicken out of the oven when that 20 minutes is up, and you add the sauce onto the chicken and then mix it all together along the bottom of your casserole dish. Your final step is to then spread your mashed potato on top of the chicken mixture, brush that with a bit more oil, and then you put that in the oven and bake it for 15 minutes. After that, you're ready to eat, it's good to go. So this is another great thing about this, because if you know you're going somewhere, you know you've got this in the freezer, you know, stick it in a bowl in your bag or a Tupperware box. Off you go with the blender, and then when you're out, you can just sort it out there and then. You don't need to puree it before you go. Also, it's good for if you are in a restaurant and you're ordering this kind of thing, you can just take a little bit of your food, pop it in the blender and blend it up at the table. You don't need to take pouches or anything else for the baby. You don't need to order anything for the baby. It's really good. So this was designed by a mum for this very purpose. That it was really difficult to work out what to do when you were weaning your baby on the go, particularly if you go away. You don't want to have to take loads of different things with you. You can't necessarily cook while you're away and you're a bit stuck. You can't necessarily buy pouches depending on where you are. So you've got your own portable blender. Makes life a lot simpler. So what we'll do now is I'll show you a demonstration of the blender and you can see how it works. So it comes with a charging dock. I don't know if you can see that, the little charging dock there. It doesn't work while it's on the charging dock, just FYI, but you then charge it up and it's ready to go. It also comes with all the different international plug attachments, so you can just swap those out, which is really good because you don't have to mess about with adapters while you're on holiday. So then you've got the unit, the little bowl just comes off. So this is good because the bowl is a feeding bowl effectively. Once you've taken, so you just unscrew the top and the blade comes off. And then it's just a little feeding bowl for the baby, so you can just feed them straight out of there. It also comes with a little plastic spoon that just clips to, oh, I should have put it all together. It just clips to the side of the unit. You can see that it just sort of rests on it. So again, it's all in one, all encapsulated, and it does also come, I've shown you this before, with a little travel bag to keep it all safe when you're on the go. So you can just pop that in your changing bag or your beach bag or whatever and take that with you. And it's nice and padded, so it'll keep it safe, which I think is really good. So I will zoom you in a little closer so you can see what I am doing next. What I'm going to do now is just take portions of the pie. Haven't actually heated this up, so it's still a bit cold from being defrosted, hence why it's all coming apart. However, you just take spoonfuls of the pie and fill your mixing bowl, so it's about half full there. You can blend it just like that, but to give it a bit of a smoother consistency, a bit wetter consistency, you can just add a bit of liquid. So you could add water, or I'm going to use oat milk, again because Theo's got a dairy allergy. So you just put a splash of milk in there, fasten that, then get your blade section, so you can see that's just a little blender blade there, put it on top, close it nice and tight, and then you get your main unit here, take the spoon away and just pop that into place, and it just locks like with any other blender. So you can see that's all in now, and then to set it off you just simply press and hold the button, she says. There you go. So I give it a couple of good shakes just to make sure that it's all mixed up, and then you can take it off, open it up, and then you can see inside there using the little spoon that it's all nice and blended. Now if you wanted to keep blending that to get it a bit smoother, you can, so it gets to full sort of smooth consistency. Theo is he's eating quite chunky stuff at the moment, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that's it, simple as. And then you can just feed it in using the little plastic spoon. So that's all done. We've got our puree made up. So my thoughts on the Itsy Blitz are that it is a really good idea. It is difficult to make purees on the go, especially like I say if you're going on holiday. So having something like this in your kit where you can take it to a restaurant, keep it in your bag, you don't have to worry about having something with you, you can just use a bit of your food, blend it up and give it to the baby, I think is a really fab idea. I think the drawbacks of it are that the bowl is quite small, so it says in the instructions to only fill it half full. So this wouldn't actually be enough for Thea. I'd have to do it twice. Not really a big deal, but it is something to consider. I think if this was just a little bit bigger, then it would cater for everybody. You know, you do have to, I think you saw when I was doing it, you do have to shake it around a bit while you're doing it. You can't just hold it still, but that's fairly easy. It's not an issue. You just need to keep it moving to move all the stuff around the blades. And the only other thing that is a bit tricky about it is that it does take quite a long time to charge up for the first time. So it takes between 2 and 4 hours, which I think, in this day and age is quite a long time for something to charge. However, the charge lasts. It does seem to last for quite a long time. So I actually charged this up the other day to use it, and it's still going strong. And it is, it's nice and compact. The unit's nice and compact, and actually having the little case to carry it around with, I think is a really nice touch. I definitely think it's very useful.